Probably live.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello!
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Folks, it is Tuesday.
Oh my God.
Tuesday.
A Tuesday wrestling
What
night.
does that mean?
We have a nice good old war going on again, which is kind of wild to think. Hey, it might be a one-off, but that's happening. Who would have thought?
Big stacked show for the one night war.
Yeah.
Nothing but
A
title
lot
matches.
happened tonight.
Yeah.
Both exciting. Well, off the bat, we got to talk about the show. There was a war tonight, but we watched AEW because we don't watch NXT. We just do not be doing it.
No.
We're not doing it. I won't do it. But we watched AEW,
which is like it's probably a much better show now, you know.
Totally.
But there's still just the stank is so stanky, you know. On that.
It's
show.
also I have to prioritize.
Yeah,
I gotta watch the main show. Like I don't watch Dark because there's just too much wrestling. I am watching some WWE because it's a very curious time. They're doing there's some neat stuff happening, but respectfully, I do not have time for that right now.
Totally.
But
fair.
we just we watched a frightening ending.
Yeah, really put a damper on what was kind of good vibe start to finish.
Honestly, an incredible show.
Really strong.
Strong show.
You want to go for it from the beginning?
Let's go from the beginning.
All right.
But you folks, sorry if our mood is or if our energy is lower than normal. But
scary ending.
What do you do?
Yeah. Welcome to Oscar and Limon Kitchen. This is live. What's up?
Are we back to Depressling? Hey?
This is Depressling. It's back. This is season 2.
100%.
Depressing.
Aww.
All right.
Sad to be here again.
I know, but you know it's October. It's a scary time.
It's true.
First up for the Trios Championship.
You can tell we're so broken.
Oh man.
God.
Just trying for anything.
Me? All right. For the Trios Championships, Best Friends versus Death Triangle.
Okay, this was fun to watch for me.
PWG.
I mean, I know how much we adore these teams.
Absolutely.
And seriously, seeing all of the different combos and just how inventive they've been over the last couple of weeks has been so much fun. That triple dive combo over the top rope into the ramp, like that was so good. For me, the one spot where I was like, man, they just had to do that was that massive 6-man suplex in the corner. Like that's so overdone, especially when you watch the indies and it's just trying to get that real quick cheap pop. I can't stand that.
It's different.
Right.
Those translate so much better in the building though, you know.
Yeah.
Those funky overdone 6-man spots are because when you see them like 10 feet away from them, you're like, oh, this is actually very dangerous.
Right. They don't look as messy when you're in the crowd and you're all hyped. When you're watching them on television, you see everything kind of like a Jenga start to unravel as it's going down.
Exactly.
It's not as impressive, but you know, the rest of the match was stellar.
Totally. Great match. Wild stuff. Wild. What'd you think, Jordan?
Of course I love. These are
your
guys.
two favorite
These are my two
guys.
teams coming together. Yeah. First of all, OC coming out with the backpack.
The backpack is so good.
The backpack is so good.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Give him every belt so he can never show it to anybody.
Agreed.
It's such a good gimmick. What a huge win. The win did so much for him. The pop.
Yeah.
He hasn't had that kind of pop.
No. And it's been time for him to have something, you know?
Yeah.
So why not this?
I heard someone mention like a week before last week's match where he won the belt, just like he was like, there are little kids dressed up like Orange Cassidy every week, and there's no better way to get them to stop dressing like him than just having him continue to lose matches.
Right.
It's not a good idea.
No.
And every time he wrestles, he exceeds expectations.
Every time.
And that's rare. Every time
That's crazy.
it's better than I think it's going to be.
You buy back into the lazy thing when it resets.
Every time.
But like, I can only imagine, and I understand now why so many other wrestlers kind of have a little thing with him where they're kind of, oh, this guy. And it's because he's able to do everything in that lazy way, but still make it look so perfect. Like he's still actually wrestling, and that's so difficult to achieve. So it's like, I get it, you know? And at first
jealousy.
It is
jealousy. It's complete jealousy.
Just
absolutely.
Jealousy. It is. If people are hot at him or like hot at the gimmick, they're mad.
Has to be that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I was at a show over the weekend and a bunch of AEW people were there signing too, and he was one of them. And I saw at least like 5 kids walk by my table dressed just like him. I'm saying these kids were like the height of my knees and thighs. I'm like, this is wild, the impact that he has had.
And I bet his table was fucking slamming.
Massive line. Him and Hangman were just crushing it that show. Yeah.
Straight up.
Too soon.
Too soon. Yes, we read the chat, and OC is for the kids. OC is for us too. We're the kids.
I'm a kid.
Yeah,
I love OC.
But then they lost, and good. That was the right call. Obviously, that triangle got to look good as a trio. They lost separately in these 2 convincing ways. Now they're gonna get back to winning together.
Yeah, you got to build them. Got to build them as the trio. Fun, good to give Phoenix wins because Phoenix is the guy.
Yeah,
he's untouchable.
Yeah, and he lost last night at Triple Mania, I believe, or 2 nights ago.
Oh yeah,
I believe so. Did you watch any Triple Mania, folks?
I did when I was doing a lot of Impact stuff because they had a ton of luchadors, like I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago, who were on a lot of those cards, but I haven't kept up with it as of late. But
this is the first one I haven't watched in quite a while.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch. There's usually like a bunch of matches where I'm like, I got to see it.
Yeah.
But I can't watching the whole thing is too much because like, if it's not like an exciting New Japan like type match on the show, like every undercard match is like Crazy Clown, Psycho Clown, and Mean Clown are gonna face off against Scary Clown, Ginger Clown, and Baby Clown.
You know what's funny is I was so unfamiliar with the roster when I first got into this world, and then I remember learning it and then promoing with the guys and literally having to make little mental notes to make sure I understood the difference between all the clowns, because you're completely right. Like,
okay, so the mustache is Crazy Clown. Got it.
Yeah. Mohawk, that's Baby Clown.
Yeah. Was there like a Marvel Battle Royale again? That's normally that's like the thing that opens the show. It's like a Marvel sponsored branded thing.
I'm not sure.
Crazy.
There was it. That's cool.
Anyway,
which is like good for them. They have insane matches. It's just weird. The only thing that's strange to me is the way the hard cam is positioned. I'm looking at the stage and like I'm seeing the sickest sequence of moves I've ever seen with a Mayo ad behind it.
It's like fucking Six Flags, man. Takis on the ninja, you know? It's wild.
It's true.
It's terrible.
It's a lot. But everything else I would love to watch like again, Lucha Underground fan.
Yeah, you love it.
Number one Lucha Underground boy.
So good.
I might it's the same cast.
You're getting into AAA. That's your mission. You're gonna be the AAA.
I'm gonna just got into Mayo during the match.
Same. Up next was Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm. 15 years in the making, as they put over many times for the interim AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to start here? I was about to do the same thing.
This was fun. Right?
Good stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the pace was pretty good. I think that she does so smooth, whether her Hurricanranas, jumping knees, like everything she does has such technical precision, which is really cool to see. For me, seeing the hip attack on Tony's end, it makes me laugh every time because it's just so overused during the match. However, it's her thing. And on the other side of it, she is so effortless with her attitude. It always is on point and comes through, and her finisher looks devastating every time. So it's like I can't really, there's not much to riff on that otherwise. Then it was like a solid match. Nothing stood out to me where I was like, oh my god, but at the same time, like technically sound the whole way through. And then of course the cluster at the end of everyone getting involved, I kind of expected it, but to see Soraya actually look like, hey, yeah, she can get back in there now. There's no way you can attack someone that way.
To me,
she absolutely ready to go. So that's exciting because she's one of my favorites. Like I just, as a person, as a wrestler, love her. Would love to see her back in that ring.
Me too.
That the tweet she put out, like later in the show, she was like, "Rumors are we are still fighting in this crowd. Send help. We're lost."
That's fantastic.
Good bit. Incredible bit.
So cheeky.
Yeah.
She literally is. She's a cheeky bird.
She's a cheeky bugger.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, this was a fine TV championship match. Didn't need to be insane as 2 of 6 championship matches or whatever it was. Could have used maybe another 5 minutes, I'll say. 2 to 5. It was a little short. Came abruptly. The kerfuffle after was very enjoyable. Little seeds of doubt planted again with Jamie Hayter, you know?
Yeah.
Just there.
Riho
is back. First champ.
Yes.
Let's go.
That could lead to some interesting things. You can already tell that she's taking sides. We can see who she's going to defend and potentially help. So that's kind of cool to see. I don't know who she'll be thrown in the mix with per se in terms of one-on-one. Maybe she'll join one of those 2 teams and become a part of that instead. But that leads a lot to opportunity, and she's just amazing in ring. So I liked that she came back.
Agreed. What else we got? What?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think with Toni Storm, I think we got to build some stories with her because
the interimness can't be the only story going on.
Yeah,
right.
You got to do a little more because I've seen some tweets and stuff. It feels like people are complaining about this reign in the same way that people complained about our beloved Hangman's reign. And it's like they're good wrestlers and they give you a good match as champions, but you got to give them a story.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we believing in these people? Why do we love them? Like, remind us again, put them into something where I actually have a reason to be advocating. And that's missing completely. And maybe that's also why while watching that match, I was kind of like, what's this really for? You know what I mean?
Let Anthony Storm cut a promo after the match.
Antonio Storm. Italian legend.
Antonio Storm. Let her fucking cut a promo.
And then cut
after the match like Mox.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Every champion, if they have no story, they should be cutting promos afterwards. Be like,
if general manager mode in them WWE games taught me anything, is that to get my points up, I gotta have the champion cut a promo if they're not wrestling or when they're done wrestling to build the next thing. It's simple GM mode science, guys. Tony Khan.
mode.
Check out GM mode.
You heard it here.
That's right. That's all it takes. Renee Paquette.
Colin with Beaker.
That's right.
That's how I envisioned it.
Finally, Mambo number 6. That me fucking mixing it up. All right. Renee Paquette interviews FTR backstage. I really like these. I hope this continues. Kind of like the old JR interviews.
No, straight up. I've been saying this for so long, but AEW have needed a backstage representative for a very, very long time that can come through every time, that can actually speak on behalf of not only the people they're interviewing, but via Star themselves. And finally, they have somebody in that slot. Because it's kind of driving me crazy with how dry these backstage interviews have been. It's been a little desperate. and desolate. So seeing that someone of this caliber is in that position, I mean, it's fucking cool.
And it
I
wasn't,
love
they
her.
weren't interrupted. They got to finish their segment, which felt really good.
Yes.
You so true with how the backstage segment 7 is so
crazy.
dry. It's just how do you feel
And then
about
somebody
it?
comes in and goes, well.
Dude, it's the biggest part of what I do in wrestling. So whenever I see it in other companies and it's just being prolonged and for no reason, or it's copy and paste over and over, like that shit gets old. The fans need to actually see some communication. That's the whole point of a backstage interview. So now they got that platform and the girl to do it, and that's really cool.
She's the GOAT. So this was very nice, very enjoyable. Great match setup for Wednesday.
Unbelievable match setup. Let Swerve eat snacks every promo.
Yeah.
He's the eating guy.
It's like Costanza and the apple on the phone.
Oh my god.
Makes him more confident.
Absolutely.
Come on. Easy.
I get it.
Okay, this next
honestly,
thing.
let him eat a Snickers with a fork and knife. How do you eat it?
How do you eat it? With your hand.
With your hand.
And the people go,
oh my god. Yeah, the whole apple thing. I just want to bite into it like when he's talking about cheese. I just want to bite into it like it's an apple.
Okay, this next segment, Jay Lethal and Darby Allin. Did anybody notice how fucking hard Jay Lethal hit Darby?
So when I saw you guys texting about it, I made sure to watch out for it when I was catching
up.
He
smoked him.
Holy balls. Yeah, that was hard.
That was brutal. I physically winced. I went, ooh. So
what? High pitched with the hand and
straight
everything.
Up. I had like a full body reaction to that. That was gnarly. So I guess
that's crazy.
I don't know. Brutal. They aired it, so I had to imagine that was pre-taped.
I imagine that was Darby going,
hit me as hard as you fucking can, you piece of shit. Yeah.
Punch, knock me out.
He's
Take me
insane.
out.
I've seen that verbiage come from his mouth, so yeah, that would not surprise me.
All right.
That's him at Taco Bell. Knock me out.
Yeah, knock me out. You want to do like a Baja Blast? No. Knock me out. All right, William Regal heads to the ring.
Out.
Gets interrupted by MJF, and a perfect promo follows.
This was so good. I feel like I've been starting off because I'm excited about tonight. I'll let one of you take it away first.
Go
ahead, Alicia.
Okay, this was like a verbal assault to one another over and over. And I kept sitting there thinking, what can Regal actually say to come back? Like you guys mentioned, right? Or Rob mentioned. And then he did. And the simplicity of how he really just made Max come off like such a spoiled little shit without taking away from his light and talent. Like pure credit on how that was done. It was so smooth, and both of them looked so strong. You're not taking anything away from either of these like fucking this like high status people. It was so good.
And neither guy stuttered once.
No, like
it was
how?
Just butter.
It's crazy to me. They're so good.
It was perfect.
Each of them carried that perfectly.
Yeah. Jordan.
Listen, as a 5'0" ADD riddled Jew boy.
Yeah.
This was magic. I've seen we've seen all-timer promos throughout the history of AEW. I think that this is the first time that both people in the promo are firing at the same level.
Yeah.
Same caliber.
This is the first time that MJF has spiked the ball to somebody and they have been able to return it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And it was really at the point, like you said, Alicia, like Rob said in our chat, like the crowd was hot at Regal after MJF's piece.
And he pulled it together.
And he fucking instantly with one sentence was like, no, you're a bitch. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it all played into the ending of the show masterfully.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdness aside.
I think what I loved seeing was simply on Twitter afterwards, after that promo aired, Max just tweeting out, "I love this man," quote retweeting the Regal thing, like just to literally show the highest level of respect of that exchange that just went down. I thought that was kind of neat to see because, you know, most people would just be talking shit still about that guy they promoted with. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's
beautiful stuff.
Whatever they're doing with him is really, don't change a thing, you know? Don't change a thing.
Agreed.
All right. What?
It doesn't seem like they're going to. He's still doing bidding war of 2024.
Sure.
He's doing all that shit. It's unbelievable. I hope he wins the belt and holds it until then.
Yeah, forever.
Same.
Chris Jericho, Dalton Castle, Ring of Honor World Championship.
That's
Beautiful.
so outlandish.
What
that
an
intro
entrance for Dalton.
So good.
That's how you
guest
guest appearance a guy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for real though, because I've seen that entrance at smaller shows. So to see it on a stage of this, you know, again using the word caliber, but of this magnitude, that was pretty cool to see. I'm watching them all try to sync up to me was hilarious in the best of ways.
With the elevator.
So good.
You got the elevator.
Oh yeah.
That's high honor.
Mm-hmm.
High honor. That's invest in these first appearances.
That's right.
Right.
It pays off. The crowd was 100% behind him throughout the whole match.
And Riccaboni on commentary, just knowing the history of Dalton so well was very intuitive.
Yeah.
Ian's
an encyclopedia of that company. He's incredible at what he does.
So there was nothing that we would be confused on as viewers, which is the way commentary should work.
That's the whole point of it, right?
The whole point, and he did it.
Gets lost a lot, but
yeah, well,
for sure. And this really, I think it's fun seeing this Ring of Honor match and segment kind of like turn things around, because there was all that shit that came out that like the FTR Ring of Honor spot from a week ago is the lowest rated AEW segment of all time or something like that. It's chaotic, so they needed this. Wow. They needed something like this to be like, this is the reason that we brought this Ring of Honor to the...
That's wild, because like the stuff with Jericho and the belt is probably the thing I'm most invested in right now in the whole show.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really like it. Him just destroying Ring of Honor alumni is, I'm all in.
I could see that. I think maybe because I'm not as maybe it's different for people who have just been invested in Ring of Honor for so long.
Dude,
there's a weight to
this segment,
because you almost feel like it's tearing down your company, like the one you've championed for years.
We were there,
yeah.
And then
smart.
The way that this went was so fucking incredible, where he starts to fuck with Riccaboni, and then Jerry Lynn, who's a producer at AEW, comes out to make the save. Former Ring of Honor World Champion.
That was gnarly onto the title too. That was just disrespectful.
The gentlest pile driver.
But still, I loved it. But still, you don't do that to a guy who can't still go somewhat. So maybe we're getting Jericho versus Jerry Lynn.
But he just came out of like neck surgery too, so like it just ain't right, Jericho.
I want to see it. Give it to me.
Give me more.
I want him to see the dye blood thing on his stomach one more time.
Yeah.
then he can produce, but until then, give me more.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
I also really liked the match. I thought they told a really fun story throughout the whole thing. Even the interactions amongst the other, going for the handshake on Jericho's part, Dalton searching in his pants for an eternity, only to flip him off. It was fun. The Hager spot with the hat was so stupid.
Yeah.
But like, I was in for it.
Jager. Oh yeah, it's terrible. The hat stuff is terrible.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then Dalton actually being able to reverse the walls of Jericho into a sweet submission, like that shows strength right there, which I thought was awesome. They really didn't try to dull him down, which sometimes we've seen in these higher matches. They've tried to do that. So yeah, I love the fact there was good balance.
Yeah, and just like a classic Ring of Honor story told throughout, with everything that Dalton did to Cody to beat him for the belt happened in this match, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
smart. Jericho's built different.
Good. Also, really, really cool out the gate, strong performance from Dalton. Like letting a character that's presented that way come in and just hit power moves.
He
and
don't fuck around. He's
whoop-
very strong.
He's
Yeah.
so strong. He whooped Jericho's ass. And we all know that like Jericho is 55-year-old Jericho is dense. There's a density to that man. So he's picking up, he is deadlifting a dense man.
Yeah.
To do all these.
He's straight up the glacier that sunk the Titanic. So
I can't with you too.
all right, it's main event time.
Where do we start? At the end or the beginning?
I don't know. It's like half of this match was a commercial.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't see.
Yeah.
Did we even see Mox get busted open, or was he already busted open?
He was already busted open.
So we missed the whole thing, and then it was stopped.
Mm-hmm. And the craziest part is because of where this took place, being in Ohio, being in like the hometown of Cincinnati, the makings of this, the 7-minute promo video that they literally pieced together because of how big this match was supposed to be.
Huge build to this.
And massive, and for how everything went down, like that, it's just, we obviously can't fix anything or say anything to lighten it up, but it's a shame. It's a shame because that crowd was hot and that match was wild right out of the, like, as soon as it started, things are fired up.
Yeah.
That backflip off of the rafter onto Moxley, like,
yeah,
so good.
The interruption during the entrance was very very unexpected, very unhangman to do, so that felt good. Hope the guy's okay, man. Jesus Christ.
And the craziest part is we don't know where things are at now, and we could be those people who just speculate for whatever, but like we're not gonna know. We might not actually really know. The only thing I really saw that gave some kind of realness to it is some journalists on site posting photographs of him being taken out on a stretcher. So that's, you know, that's all I really know in terms of the aftermath. Yeah. But it sucks.
I hate a stretcher.
I hate to see it. I think that with this, you know, I think that this shows that like you gotta give these motherfuckers their flowers now.
While they're here.
While they're like the wrestling community, a big chunk of it was being annoying about Hangman for shit that's kind of has nothing to do with him and the job he's there to do.
Right.
They're mad at booking, and they're mad at like arguments that or what a hearsay. Mm-hmm. They're mad at hearsay that they don't actually know anything about. So maybe we stop doing that type of shit and just
enjoy the
show
product.
people. Like, don't be if like last week was Hangman's best promo of all time, and everyone was being a real pain in the ass about it in the building.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
Huh?
Were they really?
Yeah, well, I didn't catch that either.
Oh, like people, I don't know. People were like, I mean, I guess they put MJF up there for like a reason, but like there's clear moments where they are choosing to like boo him for shit that it just doesn't really have to do with any of his work or the actual product, the way he's being displayed. So it's annoying. We gotta get that. We gotta let that shit go. We gotta let the taking out the booking on the wrestlers shit go.
Oh, of course.
We all know how this works.
This is the fault of the internet.
Absolutely. Like the amount of times that I've actually met a wrestler and they're an absolute piece of garbage human, but I can still respect their wrestling. Phenomenal. And then it goes the opposite way too, where they're like the best human ever and maybe they're not so hot in the ring. But I like to keep all of that BS to the side and simply just watch wrestling, and I will watch who I like in the ring, and I will happily boo the people I don't. But I think people take it way too seriously. It's not your position to even like, why do people have input on other people's shit? Like,
Makes no
just
sense.
let them be, enjoy the show, and shut up. Thank you.
Amen. Well said. Amazing ending to this sad event though, with MJF teasing to cash in the chip, which we didn't. I guess it works that way. And then he does cash in, but not for tonight. For Full Gear.
Full Gear.
The main event is set.
Yeah.
As it
Hell
should
yeah.
be. This was what we all wanted anyway, you know?
And I feel like this would have been the case anyway, because let's be real, do you really think that they would have had Mox drop the title in his hometown?
Fuck
Hell no. So we knew that this was coming anyways. So I mean, yes, really shitty ending to the night, but phenomenal way to still set up that match we've all been waiting for. Like, this is gonna be masterful. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait.
Whatever it is, even if it's a squash and Max wins in 30 seconds, I'll celebrate.
I'm cool. I'm so cool with that.
It's his time.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm gonna knock on wood. I don't think there's a way that you could end that match. For me, there's a million ways where I'm not gonna be going, fuck yeah. any version of Max winning.
Do you think there's any way that he doesn't?
No, I don't see that.
I don't either.
They need to pull the trigger on him.
Agreed.
They get to. It's the next pay-per-view after his return. It's
best for biz.
It's best for business. It's in his, by wrestling rules, it's in his hometown.
Jersey.
You're not gonna get a better spot.
Right.
No, we'll be there, all there together.
My heart's fluttering. I can't wait.
We are all gonna be there.
I know. It's so exciting.
It's gonna be a beautiful time.
Hot damn.
I know.
More on that soon, folks. More on that soon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hope we hear more too. All right. But that's our show for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Next week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday is going to be, I think, our regular time, so we can get in
our day
right after Raw. Talk about the goings on of the Triple H era, and get right into speculations for Dynamite.
I love it.
And also next week, we're going to be doing some ring entrance music remix.
Let's go.
That's right.
Penta
time. Penta's
we're doing Penta.
Music. No more ball with the ball. Anyway.
No more ball with the ball riff.
No more ball with
the drowning pool out of here.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
Onwards and upwards, my friends.
Yes.